Just a little over 24 hours ago, the Confederation of African Football (CAF) came out with its verdict on what happened in the final between Senegal and Morocco. That's AFCON 2025. Remember what happened? There was a fiasco between the two countries. At the time, Senegal walked off the pitch after what they deemed as inappropriate officiating. CAF came out yesterday, and of course, I must say that the fines are actually very hard on both Senegal and Morocco. Welcome to another edition of Sports Hangout, where we give you the latest coming from the ever-busy world of sports. Today, we'll be talking about the African Cup of Nations in retrospect. We've been expecting this verdict, and just over 24 hours ago, it came that both Senegal and Morocco have been punished for what happened in the final of that competition. Let me quickly run through give you the summary of what CAF said. CAF said the sanctions were handed down for violations of the CAF disciplinary code, including breaches of the principles of fair play, loyalty, and integrity during and after the final match. Let me start with the suspensions and, of course, the fine right now. Papa Cha, coach of Senegal, has been suspended for 5 official CAF matches plus $100,000 fine. CAF also suspended midfielder Ismaila Sarr for 2 official CAF matches. Senegalese Football Federation got $300,000 fine. In addition to what happened, they also got $15,000 fine for misconduct of its national team. For Morocco, the African Footballer of the Year, Achraf Hakimi, was suspended for 2 official matches, with one of the matches suspended for 1 year. Ismail Sabari got 3-match suspension plus $100,000. That's from Morocco. And of course, the Moroccan Football Federation got $200,000 fine for the inappropriate behavior of stadium ball boys. Yeah, remember what they did? Those guys were just influencing a lot of things. Also got $100,000 fine for improper conduct of its players and technical staff. $15,000 fine for the use of lasers. JJ, let me ask you. I mean, a lot of money. CAF get a lot of money from both Senegal and Morocco. But I want to ask you, is it a fair verdict on what happened in the final between Morocco and Senegal?
I think if we look back to what happened in the match,
it's a lot of drama.
It was a lot of drama. 15 to 17 minute delay, and Senegal national team, they walked off the pitch because they felt an injustice against the team. But in the grand scheme of it, we would all agree with me that yes, we expected a judgment,
especially for the Senegalese manager.
Especially for the Senegalese manager, Senegalese national team, and everyone involved in that. But 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, yes, I must say that I do agree with CAF on the severity of that punishment because of the sanction. There has to be a deterrence, a signal. It's like a signal to other countries.
That you can't do this thing and go with it.
Even though we are CAF, even though it's regional competition, it's a regional competition, yes, we have integrity. Yes, we have our code of conduct. Yes, we are approved by FIFA, we are recognized, and we are not something that you can trample or stamp upon. So it might be on the high side, but in the grand scheme of it, I think it's a punishment that's really worth it for both set of teams and for the players as well, especially Ismaila Sabira. That guy was he was unbelievable. He was highly unprofessional, as well as shamefully, he shouldn't be part.
The African Footballer of the Year. Yeah.
He's playing in Europe for one of the best teams in Europe,
for PSG.
And for you to pull those sort of tantrums in the final, that was unbelievable. So everyone involved, everyone sanctioned, everyone punished is truly worth it. They got a well-deserved punishment for whatever part they took in that fiasco, which was a huge stain on African football, if we must be sincere with ourselves.
JJ, in that press release by CAF, it showed that the organization was really angry because, according to that release, they said that both countries brought the game into disrepute. And remember, we talked about the image of African football because this is the best scene of African football. If you are playing the African Cup of Nations final, that's the biggest stage. And for such to happen means that it has indicted CAF. CAF is not happy because it has it has shown African football in bad light. Do you think it's more like transferring aggression on Senegal and Morocco? This is an organization you can't disgrace us.
Well, like I said, you couldn't have done all that and not expect to be punished. And yes, if we shouldn't misconcept CAF.
Yeah.
If FIFA had done that, yes, people would have said a couple of things.
Yeah.
But then, if UEFA had done that, it would have, regardless of whichever football federation does what our CAF just did, it will engender controversy, and people will, find a way to. It's really brought what they did. The two teams, it really brought the football, the AFCON, into disrepute, a huge disrepute. So FIFA, if they say they are sanctioning them based on disrepute, I don't think they are giving us false claims. It's what we all saw, what the whole world witnessed. FIFA president was there, and he witnessed every single thing.
Yeah, the
drama happened, the drama, the melee, the fiasco. And yes, it's, to me, I still feel CAF, they are just fair in their judgment. Everyone
got what they deserve.
Well deserving of whatever punishment they got.
Morocco wants to appeal. Okay, let me just play devil's advocate. According to what they said because Senegal walked off the pitch, and according to the CAF rules, when you do that, you forfeit 3 points and 3 goals. But Senegal came back. It's not as if the game was not concluded. The players came back and it was concluded. So let's play devil's advocate. Do you think they have a case here? Because according to what they are putting out, that trophy should be given to Morocco and not Senegal. Because technically, Senegal walked off the pitch. And if you look at FIFA and CAF rules, I mean, if you do that, you forfeit 3 points and 3 goals.
And technically, again, you must understand that FIFA, CAF, what the football rule also states that you can't declare a match null or void, or you can't end a match unless the referee blows the final whistle. Yeah. We were waiting that day to, I think the referee was waiting for the final minute to blow the whistle. It was counting out, the clock was ticking, counting down. If the referee had blown the whistle that day, it would have been a different Morocco situation. Yeah. And of course, they would have won it. There wouldn't be a need for Senegal. The Senegal would not have a chance to come back. But then they came back before the referee. I think they came back a minute, or it was just so close. It was a close margin, and they completed.
I mean, thanks to Mohamed, to Sadio Mane.
So they came back, they played the game, and they won. I think Morocco they're just a bitter loser. They haven't gone over a year, and the fact that CAF are coming out now to sanction them again. That's like adding salt to an injury, and I think that's the case they are pleading. But the referee hadn't stopped the end of the game officially, so they were still within the ambit of the minute, and it didn't look like they left the stadium. Some of them were still on the pitch, some went into the dressing room. So it was not conclusively a game that showed that Senegal were down and out. So Morocco, I think they should just prepare for the next.
Okay, let's talk about some developments coming from Morocco. Now, remember that Morocco hosted the last WAFCON, that's the Women's African Cup of Nations. They lost to Nigeria. Nigeria came back from 2 goals down, and then more like a double whammy for them as well. They lost the final to Senegal for the African Cup of Nations. Now we are getting reports, because if you look at the past 4-5 years, I mean, Morocco has been the favorite child of CAF because they've hosted major CAF competitions. But Moroccans are now protesting that henceforth they don't want to host any CAF-related competitions again. That according to them, they were badly treated by CAF, and for them, they don't want to host any. Of course, you look at the facilities in Morocco, top notch. Remember, Morocco was also be one of the hosts for the 2030 World Cup. So they have the facility. But in terms of the reception, in terms of the organization, they still need to improve on that. Do you think that they have a case here? The Moroccans are saying that we are spending our money, and then you people are also giving us fine. Why? I mean, they are both helping. The CAF is helping them. They are also helping CAF.
It's like CAF had gone to Morocco's house and beaten them in their father's house. Basically, just pop their eye hope on that. If they say they are not hosting, it's their loss.
Really?
Yes, they are lost. They lost out on the trophy.
But we don't really have so many African countries with these ready-made facilities. I mean, Morocco has the best I mean, apart from South Africa, you talk about Morocco in terms of sporting facility in Africa. So if Morocco says we are not hosting the next WAFCON, for example, or say we are not hosting, who will come in for Morocco?
There will be. There will be until there is the same necessity.
Is it the fault of CAF that they are focusing on Morocco?
It's not. Like you said, they do have the facility.
Yeah.
In fact, they have some of their stadia are so well developed that they could rival those in Europe. And it's a little wonder they are part of those that will co-host the 2030 World Cup. And yes,
the second African country to do so after South Africa in 2010.
Yes, and that speaks something about South Africa in 2010 for you to do that. Which means they could also come up to host it, and they could do that consistently for years too. Maybe if they did that, Morocco will soften their stance and say, boy, we're losing. The revenue that came into Morocco over those years of hosting those things, they are, that's why I said they are going to be, it's their loss. They may not have won the trophy, but they have won something more than the trophy. The trophy would have been the icing on the cake, but it's boosted their economy, and they do know that. And that's why they struggle so hard to rival Spain to host the final of the World Cup in 2030. But Spain, you know, they have...
Spain is a bigger country.
Quite unfortunately for them, they know what they are getting from there. And it's just, like I say, it's just going to be their loss if they choose not to host any AFCON competition again.
All right, just to wrap up this conversation, JJ, how do you think CAF can prevent a reoccurrence of this in the future? Now, we know that what happened in the final between Morocco and Senegal, we hope is a one-off, because I can't remember the last time we watched an African Cup of Nations final. We had that much drama. We made headlines for the wrong reasons. Do you think CAF can do something right now to prevent a reoccurrence of that in the nearest future?
I think while we've taken stone and cast at Senegal and cast at Morocco, we haven't really addressed what led to the mail in the first place. It was poor officiating.
Definitely.
And they were almost all through the competition.
We complain about that. Officiating was so poor.
And so if CAF will not be able to prevent that unless I think they should do some more official training. Yeah, the training of the officials. Training for their officials.
You should bring in psychologists.
Extremely poor officiating in the 21st century, in 2026. For you to be witnessing that level of officiating, I think it's just so poor. And unless there is improvement, there is an improvement on officiating among the CAF referees, I'm telling you, Toby, we will witness some more. It was a final, and it only reached a boiling point on the final. Yes, there had been, you know, so I think you can understand why Senegal reacted that way. If there had been a one-off that day, they might, of course, but when there is an antecedent, when there's a background, you are sure to witness. So if it does happen, even in next competition, teams will no longer get scared of being fined.
You know, the worst case scenario is that you ask us to pay money.
But they will show their emotion, and I don't think FIFA or anyone can stop a player or a team from expressing their emotion. It's not possible.
All right. Let's get to your reactions. I want to read from you in our comment section. Talk to us. Do you think that the punishment given to both Senegal and Morocco are justified? Well, Morocco, they are saying that they also got a lot, because if you look at what they got, they are going to pay almost $600,000 in fines to actually, because of what they did, and just as Senegal as well. So let's get your thoughts. Do you also think that, the suspension given to the Senegalese manager is also justified? It's going to mean 5 CAF official matches, but good for him. He will be involved in the World Cup for Senegal. I mean, that's what Senegal is looking at. I mean, they just want to be at the World Cup, and that does not affect Senegal's participation at the FIFA World Cup coming up later this year. Until next time, where we are going to meet, I remain Toby.
And I'm JJ. Don't forget to hit the subscription button and the notification button as well. Thank you.